Hi, my name is Katie Kataska, and I am the chair of the Professional Development Committee of the New Jersey State Library Association. In the Library Career Path series, we'll be interviewing librarians from a wide variety of positions within the field, from public positions to music outreach and even business librarians. So newcomers and seasoned librarians alike can learn more about the many career options available in the field that they may not have been aware of. We hope you enjoy these interviews, and please like and subscribe to our channel below to help promote the Library Career Path series. Thanks so much for watching this series. We hope you enjoy it. Take care. Just to get started, can you please give us your name, title, and current place of employment?
Yes, my name is Sira Williams. I'm the head of Children's Services and Outreach at the Red Bank Public Library.
And so what inspired you to work in libraries? Did you choose this profession or did it find you?
It kind of found me. I was working in corporate in a health insurance company doing training and development for a long time. I had children. I am a Red Bank resident, so I had three children, and by the time I got to daughter number three and childcare, it was kind of expensive. And so I stopped working for a while and then started working part-time doing a couple little things. And then I got a part-time job at the Red Bank Public Library, and I was in the circulation department and did that for about a year. And that had me floating from the adult services to children's. But at some point, there became availability in the children's room and the possibility of working full time. And I love working with kids and young families and did that in my private life and in volunteer work. And so it just kind of found me. We found each other, and it's been really a fun job.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, so they say.
And so was there something specific that pointed you in the direction of working in youth services?
Just that my you can see my office, like you see I have trolls and dolls and toys, and I'm kind of kiddish and I like working with kids. So I was on the board of a mom's daycare center, which is here, and I was a Girl Scout leader and a Sunday school teacher, and I had three daughters, and I just, was always PTA president working with kids and young families. And so um, that's kind of where my interests lied, and I just kind of went with that flow. And like I said, the opportunity arrived. I also love to read. I love picture books. I like making voices and being silly and singing songs and all that kind of stuff. So it just was a good fit for me.
Nice. So can you describe the interview process?
So as I said, I was working part-time in the circulation department. So that was a basic interview with the director and also the head of the adult services department at that time. And then the children's librarian here left and there was a vacancy. So there was just a rotation of staff members who were working in children's without anybody supervising it specifically per se. And so there was a little competition between those of us who were working here who wanted to be in the children's room, all the time. And I interviewed with our director, again with the circulation supervisor, because there's a lot of pricing over there. And we had to do plan some programs, and um, it was a while ago now, so I barely remember, but I won out.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
And so is there an asset that you possess which you believe may have helped you land the job?
Well, I think I am good at communicating. I have good communication skills, whether it be with my coworkers or with little people, kids, teenagers, and parents. I am, like I said, a local resident, and I think that does help too with me, finding a rapport with local families.
Mhm.
And What was the question? What are my skills that go with this job?
Yes. So is there
Yeah,
an asset, is there an asset that you possess which you believe may have helped you land your job?
yeah, probably that would be the main thing is communication skills. And then I'm also very detail oriented. So when it comes to planning programs and things like that, materials that we have in the library, I'm very kind of, I don't want to say perfectionist, but I like
Mhm.
to make sure things are done and done well. So that's a big,
Yes. No, I know a lot of librarians are perfectionists, so.
yeah.
And so what is a typical workday for you?
A typical work day, some days can be very busy coming in, checking. I always check my emails first to see what's happening. We do a lot of things outside of the library and with the community. So um, just yesterday, we had students coming in who their service learning project is to, they have adopted shelves in the library. So every week, a different group of kids come in and check their shelves. But I check my emails. I check in with the staff that's on desk in the children's room. Um, there's always some tidying up that has to be done from the night before. We have a lot of toys and games and other kinds of activities in our room. And then it could be right now we're weeding. We've got a big weeding project going on, so it's running reports for that and reviewing books that have been pulled to determine if I want to discard them or not. But collection development and maintenance is a big part of it. Sometimes I'll spend, a whole day just researching books and ordering books, which is very fun to buy some nice materials with somebody else's money. But I love to buy books. So that could be a big part of a day, or then I don't do it for, weeks. Um, Planning programs. We just had a meeting today about Maker Day is coming. So what are we going to do for Maker Day? There's always story times to plan for and prepare for, selecting my books, my songs, and all that kind of jazz. And then, like I said, maintaining my calendar for meetings such as this, staff meetings, and offsite events. It's Black History Month this month, so I have a few offsite events for read-ins and story times and things like that. So that's one great thing about this job is that it is so varied. You can be sitting in the office, like I said, researching books. I could be doing a program, talking to parents and helping kids find books, running upstairs, downstairs, and everywhere in between. So I really like that about this job is that I get to do everything. Another big thing is just like publicity, um, designing things in Canva for social media or for posters, um, recording little videos, all that kind of stuff. And that's why you kind of have to be good at time management because that can slip away from you at times, especially when you do get caught um, chatting and helping, our patrons. That's number one. But my calendar is pretty full.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it's all good
Yeah.
stuff though.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what's nice about the job is that it's never a dull day.
Yes, yes. And when it is, then it's kind of good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so on to the next question. So what skills and qualifications are required for your positions? And do they match the skills and qualifications that you use most on a daily basis?
Skills and qualifications, I would say, I think I mentioned these before, organizational skills, attention to detail, communication skills, planning, um, I would say budgeting, um, supervisory skills. Do you have a circulation staff that reports to me when they're working down here in the children's room? Um, let's see, what else did I jot down? Just interpersonal skills, um, and flexibility.
Mhm. Okay, and then going on to the next question. So what is the best thing about your job, and what is your least favorite?
Well, definitely I enjoy working, being around kids and young families. That's the best. Whether they're babies or toddlers that come to story time, or the teenagers that are the first thing they want is a computer pass so they can play Roblox for an hour. I do like to talk to and hang out with the kids and also chit chat with, the adults that come in, whether it's nannies or babysitters or grandmas and grandpas. I think the library is a special place for, it's free. It's got a lot of activities and fun things to do. It's a great place for a family to come, and it's a great place for um, adults to find other families that are in, a similar place as they are. So I like being that kind of place where people can gather and meet those needs. So that's kind of the best thing. I love doing programs. I love story time. Um, and I like planning for programs. I don't necessarily like setting up programs. We don't have a maintenance person or anybody here that can help us, put out chairs, put back chairs, set up tables, carry things from upstairs to downstairs. So all that kind of stuff has to be done, and we help each other, but that's not the most fun. What else? I don't know, but there's not a lot of there's not a lot of downsides to the job.
That's good. That's a good thing to say.
Yeah, yeah. I guess time constraints. Sometimes I work a lot outside of the library, especially when it comes to some programming and preparing
Mhm.
for it. And but I want to do it. I'm willing to do it. So okay.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way, unfortunately.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, and to go on to the next question. So, what are your salary expectations, and does your current job meet them? And are there any opportunities for growth in your position?
Well, I've been here long enough that, we're part of a union. I understand that not every library is unionized or works for the borough. So that is a good thing in that we get regular increases and we have union representation when there's
Mhm.
issues and things. I would like to definitely be making more money, but that's probably not going to happen. There's not, like one of the questions here was, is there opportunities for growth? I mean, once you're at a certain level, there really is not.
Mhm.
And that's a little disappointing, but there's only so many of us here. So in order to grow, you have to bounce around. I do have a friend who's been looking for work for literally years. She's a school librarian, and she's trying to get in to a public library, and she's, at a certain level, and she's just really having a hard time finding something to make that transition. But she works here part time, and she would like to do, work full time. So money wise, it's okay. Okay, could be better. Could be
Mhm.
better. I have young daughters who are now, looking for work or who are graduating from school and looking for jobs. I'm working. I know it's hard. Um, So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about money. You have to edit that out.
Yeah, I think if you go in library schools, like I tell everyone, money is not always the highest, but it
It's
depends on what you want out of the career.
yeah, money is a good thing to want, but it's hard to come upon. So
Hmm.
everybody can always use more.
Hmm. And then going on to the next question. So what advice do you have for new librarians or graduate students about to enter the field?
Yeah, this one I'm not so sure how to answer. I guess my advice would be, um, you mean in terms of looking for a job or when they get a job?
I guess like if they're looking for a job or once they like, yeah, or like once they've graduated, like something to just keep in mind.
Yeah, I guess I would say, I guess in both of those cases, to be flexible in your expectations and also in what you're willing to do. You might have a vision in your head of what your first job out of school is going to be, and just be open to opportunities and do whatever's asked of you. With enthusiasm and do the best that you can, and you'll get noticed for that. And I guess that would be my advice. Work hard.
Yep, that's good. And so what do like job prospects look like for your type of position?
Yeah, so this is what we were saying already. I'm the head of this department, so there's nowhere else to go but other than to be a director. And I don't think I have the qualifications or personal desire to do that. I could be the super duper head of the department, so that would be great. I guess I could move to another library that's in a bigger system, a county system or something that's has more responsibility. Um, so those are the possibilities, but those opportunities don't come up that often. Somebody just retired here who's been here for 15 years. I mean, once you get a job that you like, then people don't want to leave. And so that's what makes it tricky, is that you have to be willing, to move around, to do what
Hmm.
you want to do.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest challenge in this profession?
I would just say, well, our library challenge is attracting teenagers. To tell you the truth, we are
Hmm.
not in a location that's easily walkable from high school. And so
Mm.
some libraries that are like right across the street from the high school, and everybody just floods over there to do their homework and hang out and da, da, da. So that doesn't happen here.
Hmm.
Um, and we're doing a better job of retaining some of the kids that, came up through the library and they know that it's a place that they can come with their friends. But that's always a challenge, is to attract those teens. They're busy with other activities and things as well. So um, that's something that we're always trying to work on. So in that vein, the social media, we should be a little bit better on that. And, you can see my head of gray hair. So I'm not the hippest with the TikTok and all the newest platforms. I'm good on Facebook and Instagram, but so that's a challenge. Um, and just coming up with new ideas. I think sometimes it's kind of like teaching where you get your lesson plans and the kids rotate through and I can do the same story time that I did last year for these young people and they don't know. I could do the same story time I did 2 weeks ago for these 2 year olds and they would still be happy. So just keeping things, fresh and new and coming up with new ideas. Um, it's challenging, but it's fun too. It's not a bad thing. We need to do it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on to the next question. Are there any accomplishments during your career that you are particularly proud of?
I have a couple pet projects that, yes, I am proud of. We started, well, I guess we're talking about, I'll say I, since it was my big idea, and I'm supposed to tell you my proudest things. Um, the story walk that's in town. I think we were one of the early ones in New Jersey to have a story walk, and there were years that I, glued pages onto sheets and pounded stakes into the ground by hand and was out there and was trying to do it every week because I was crazy because we always had like jazz in the park and movies in the park and during the summertime and wanted a new story every time, every week they came for one of these events. And so that was my pet project, to get that up and running, to get a permanent installation, to get the borough to approve it, and all the things, get the money for the installation. And so the fact that we have that story walk at Riverside Gardens, um, it's loved now by our community. And so that makes me really happy. And I would love to get another one in another part of town. That's one of my goals. That, and also a program that I started during COVID, like around the time that George Floyd was murdered, called Family Story Times on Race and Diversity. It was a virtual program um, to get families talking about important issues. I would read a story and give them some prompts and some ideas of things that you should talk about at home with your kids. And, my thought is that it should always be virtual, because you might have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and this family has a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. You're going to have totally different conversations. And also the conversation that I'm going to have as a Black woman with my daughters is different than the conversation that you're going to have with your kids. And so that program has meant a lot. I did get an award from NJLA a couple years
Oh,
ago
that's so
for a
cool.
creative program, and that's been that I'm very proud of. And also along those lines is just improving our collection, making it more diverse. We're very focused on just diversifying the materials that we have so that every kid in Red Bank can walk in here and see covers of books with kids that look like them, can feel comfortable finding materials that they can relate to. So I'm proud of that as well. And last thing is just the level of community engagement that we have, and working with the schools and the daycare centers, and T. Thomas Fortune House, which is a community run house, and Count Basie, and all the things that we have. Red Bank is a very cultural community and a diverse community. So all the efforts that we do to reach out and get everybody engaged, and so everybody knows the library and knows that they are all welcome here. All those things are important to me, and I think we've done a good job.